Oh my God, it's great to have everyone here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirigliano.
Hi guys! Hello. How are you? Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Have you had a good day? Did you know that this convention benefits, what is it benefits?
Pop Culture Classroom.
Pop Culture Classroom. I think this may be one of the largest events that actually does a charity, non-profit event, and you guys, thank you for being a part of it because you're doing good stuff with the money that you pay. Oh, look at your Star Trek uniform! Oh my God! Dude, I recognize a hardcore, awesome uniform when I see it. Come here, come here, come here. Yeah, charity. Come here. Just kidding. No, listen, this is grade A. Can we talk Star Trek for a minute? I want you to look at this tunic, all right? Let's look at this tunic. See that in the light? Everybody thinks Captain Kirk wears a gold tunic. It's not gold. It's an avocado. It has green in it. Am I right? I'm absolutely right. So, when you're getting ready to get your own hero costume, make sure they don't sell you a gold one, all right? This is amazing. Is this a Novos? I recognize it from the braid. This is their braid. I know braid. Am I a nerd or what? Oh my God, what's your name? You look great, Joe.
I bought your EVA suit from...
You're the one that bought the... Give me some love. Oh my God. Okay, now I have to tell you another story about Joe. So, our very first episode of Star Trek continues, and if you haven't watched it, what the hell? Why not? Get home and watch it. You, red-haired girl, get home and watch it. You. Fezzes are cool. I love fezzes. Our very first episode, it featured a scene where Sulu and another character, let's just call him a red shirt, because we know what happens to them, goes out onto the hull of the Enterprise with phasers to clean off some of this stuff that's been stuck on the hull, right? So we made EVA suits, like extravehicular activity suits, just like they had in the original series. And they didn't have to be fancy or actually work, they just needed to look good on television, which is what you do, right? You make stuff that looks fine, but it's not necessarily expensive. So we made these, and when was that? 2 months ago? A month ago? I get a phone call from my wardrobe supervisor. She says, there's this guy. And he wants to buy one of our EVA suits. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Really? Does he know that it was just made for TV and it looks great on screen, but you know, it's not great. And she's like, I'll tell him. She calls me back, she's like, he knows. He understands it, he wants it anyway. And I'm like, just get ready, because he's gonna call us and he's gonna be like really mad when he gets it. And did you like it? I want to see pictures of you in it.
Tell them who wore the suit.
Oh, this is Grant, which one? Was this Jamie's? Jamie Bamber, who played Apollo in Battlestar Galactica, was our red shirt. I killed him. I'm like, Jamie, you want to come be in Star Trek? I'm going to kill you. And so it was him and Grant Imahara from Mythbusters who plays Sulu in our series. And oh my gosh. So yeah, and this is the funny part, is that the helmet has a screen that goes in front of it. And in the episode, Jamie gets killed. Because I told you he was a red shirt, right? And there's a big hole blown in the screen because he got killed. And I told him, I'm like, there's a big hole in the screen. He's like, okay. Joe is the best. Give Joe a round of applause. All right, so did I tell you this event benefits charity? So I'm very glad to be a part of it. And you know what? It's been a long time since I've been in Denver. And I'm so happy to be back. I think I was at NDK 400 years ago. I know there was a 4 in it. But it seems like forever. And I love this city and I love you guys, and I had the best time in NBK. I think it was 4 years ago that I was here last. Was it 2010? Wait a minute, it was 5 years ago? I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. I thought it was 4. Hi, Winry. Yeah. Winry's hot. Ed doesn't realize it yet, but Winry's hot. I always tease Caitlin all the time. Oh, hey, hold on a second. Let's say hi to Michelle, my fiance. Hi, sweetheart. I have somebody who wants to say hello to you. Okay. Well, maybe more than just one person. Hi there, a room of strangers. If any of you have seen Star Trek, she plays Dr. McKenna.
Yeah!
The uber hot red-haired girl. I'm in my panel, sweetie. I just wanted to call and say I love her, answer and say I love you. And now they're doing exactly what you know they do when I do that. Aww. All right, I'll talk to you later. All right, I love you. Okay, thanks. Bye. Anyway, so where were we? Winry, Ed, hot. That's all I remember. Okay, first of all, I'm so happy to be back here. And I love this town, and I've already sent $5,000 to the organizers of this convention to pay them off to bring me back next year. Was I supposed to tell them that I did that? Yes. Oh. No, I've already told them that I'm having the time of my life, and I'm already excited about next year. So next year, when you come back to see me, and that is happening, I know all y'all's names. Let me tell you what I'm working on now, and by the time I see you, hopefully again next year, you'll get to, oh, you can put the image mag up, Mr. Tech Guy. That's cool, so the people in the back can see how old I am. By next year, you'll see that I've really been excited to be playing roles in Durarara. And there's this other show that I've always wanted to be a part of, but I never had a good enough accent, and now I'm getting to be a part of it. It's a small part, but I'm still excited, and it's Black Butler. It's about this butler. No, probably not. There's probably not even a butler. No. Let's see, what else? Oh my gosh. Can I just tell you how excited I am to be playing a character in Free? Now, don't listen to the haters, okay? Can we make a deal? Can we make a little pact? Don't listen to the haters. They're mean. And they're desperate for attention. So don't give it to them, okay? Can I get serious for 1 second here? I've gotten so much hatred over Free in particular. And I want to talk to you about that for 1 second, because I promised myself and I promised God that I would talk to you about this. In all my years in anime, I have received thousands of emails from fans, and I answer them. A lot of you have written me, and I've written you back. And I love you guys, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this industry. And you know what I've gotten a lot of emails about? Bullying. So many anime fans get bullied. You should see the emails I get. Kids in my school make fun of me. You know, bully me. Because I like this, or I like that, or I like to wear this, or I'm a fan of that. I don't even know how many I have received. And as I was getting all this hatred from these people I don't even understand what's up, it hit me. It was like a light came on, and I thought, of all of the fandoms that you would expect people not to bully someone, wouldn't it be the anime fandom? Because it's full of people who've been bullied. You would think the last people in the world who would trash you or hate on you or spread lies about you would be this fan base, anime. Pardon me? Yeah, of course they are. But there are, and you know what? Here's the saddest thing, you guys. The saddest part of it is that 95% of this industry is amazing. All of you guys, you're the good ones. There's a very, very small portion of people that are haters. But the problem is they make a lot of noise. And that's the way it is with a lot of things. Did you ever notice that? Like the very, very smallest group makes all of this noise, and it makes you think there's a lot of them, when really there's not. So I'd like us to join together, and I've talked about this at other conventions, and this is a perfect opportunity because you guys are here, and there's a lot of us together in one place. Can I ask you guys, be a voice for good. Can I encourage you to be a voice for positivity and love? You guys, there's a saying. There's a very famous saying, and it's one of my favorite sayings. So much so that I worked it into a Star Trek episode. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Process that for a minute. All these good people, and they just sit there and go, oh, isn't it too bad, really? Isn't it sad that there's so many hateful people? But they don't do anything. They don't let their voices for good be heard. They don't speak up. So I want to encourage you guys to do what you can. Maybe some of you have been bullied. I sure was over the last few months about freedom. I want to encourage you guys. The next time you're on a panel, or excuse me, on a post, a forum, or a blog, or a website, and you hear those people talking like that, shut them down. Shut them down. You guys, don't let them ruin your industry. Don't let them take over anime, because there's a lot more of you than there are of them. Okay? And that's all I want to say about that, because I love you and it's important to me. And I really, really feel strongly about that. So I'm working on those things that I mentioned, some of those shows. I'm also working on my web series that I'm so excited about. You know, you guys love anime, and you cosplay, you go to conventions. When I was your age, Ariel, when I was your age, I put on Star Trek uniforms and went to Star Trek conventions and was a complete nerd. And you know it. I met all of the actors from the original series, and I just loved Star Trek. It was what inspired me when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. So imagine how exciting it is for me, many decades later, to have started a web series that picks up right where the original series ended. If any of you remember the original Star Trek series, Captain Kirk used to say at the very beginning, these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. It's a 5-year mission. Well, they only did 3 years, and then they were canceled. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we picked up right where they left off and continued the 5-year mission? So that's what we did. We rebuilt all of the sets. We have a beautiful facility with everything rebuilt the way the original Enterprise was built. Like the original soundstage. Everything's interconnected, all of the rooms. You walk down the hallway and walk right into the transporter room. And then walk down the hallway, walk right into the briefing room. Go back up the hallway, on the left, sick bay. All of it. We've made 3 episodes. In less than 2 years, we've got over 2 million views. And I would love for you to be some of those views. So check it out. Star Trek Continues. StarTrekContinues.com. Star Trek can go to YouTube. Star Trek Continues. And you know what? If you're not a Star Trek fan, that's fine. Go to the doctor because something's wrong with you. No, if you're not a Star Trek fan, I'll bet you somebody in your family is. I bet your parents are, your dad is, maybe your uncle, one of your teachers at school, a neighbor. Tell them about it. Spread the good word. And here's the most exciting thing, Joe. Next week, less than 1 week from today, episode 4 is going to premiere at Phoenix Comic-Con next weekend, and then it will be online for everybody to see. So spread the good word about that, you guys, if you'd be so kind. I would be very grateful. We don't make any money at it, not a penny. Not a penny. In fact, it's cost me a lot of money. But that's fine, because it's my dream. You know? Can you imagine if you could go back in time and look at little scrawny Vic Mignogna? I was called Victor back then. Look at scrawny little Victor Mignogna and go, someday, scrawny Victor, in your little scrawny Captain Kirk uniform, you're going to get to walk on to an amazing reproduction of the Enterprise, and you're going to play Captain Kirk. I'm living a dream, you guys. Which reminds me, don't let anybody tell you that doesn't happen. Because it does. You want to see something funny? Mr. DVD guy, put up my menu real quick. Star Trek Vintage. We're only going to watch 10 seconds because it'll make you throw up. At the very end, this is a home movie of me when I was like 12 years old. Look! Putting my phasers and communicators on, and I'm going to go beam down. My bathroom was my transporter room. So I walk into the bathroom and I say, energize. And then I had to cut out of aluminum foil. Da, 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 and zzz. Look how serious. I took myself so seriously. This is the best part. So I'm walking through my apartment, and my friend is filming. There wasn't videotape at this point. This is a film. So I call the Enterprise and I say, beam down my phaser. Zzz. Okay, watch. As he follows, look, my zipper's undone. Oh no! And so I turn around and zip it up. Okay, stop that. Stop that. I feel the hurling coming up in my throat right now. You guys, that was 40 years ago. Is that awesome? And by awesome, I mean pathetic. Is that weird? I mean, 40 years ago. And so I encourage you to check out Star Trek Continues, and you'll see how much, how much people just like you do all these crazy things that they love so much. And if you love to draw, right? So to draw or act or sing or build amazing cosplay, don't ever think that that's got to go away. Don't let anybody ever tell you, stop playing with that stupid stuff. Grow up, get a job. That's crap. Okay? These are the things that bring joy to your life. So don't give them up. Okay? And you may not get paid to do it. A lot of people don't necessarily get paid, but can I ask you a question? I love doing this. Watch this. This is so fun. Come here. Come here. I love your shirt. See, Star Wars and Star Trek can coexist. Yeah. Obi-Wan never told you. Sorry. Anyway, okay, watch this. You guys think I'm like so ADD, right? He can't stay on any topic. I know exactly where I was. Ready? How many of you draw? Look around the room. Look at all of them. Look. Now, put your hands down. Don't put your hand up just because you think it's funny. How many of you only draw when someone pays you? Isn't that awesome? See my point? You do it because you love it, not because somebody pays you to do it. So stick with the things you love, okay? What else can we talk about? If you're not a member of the most awesome fan group in the world, consider yourselves personally invited to join the Rizabul Rangers. We have about 25,000. We have nobody with a beard. So I would like you to join. We have about 25,000 people worldwide. And they're all people that love the things you love. And it's free to join, so consider yourselves. It's Risembool, like the little town that Ed Now came from. Risembool, Risembool Rangers. Let's see, what else? I like to do some housekeeping, like to remember to tell you things. Let me think, anything else I need to tell you? Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Getting senile. A lot of you guys know that I write music and perform and sing, and I've been doing it twice as long, actually, as I've been voice acting. Well, a couple of years ago, I did a concert, and I made a concert DVD. Does anybody here have my concert DVD? Just a few. Did you enjoy it? Have you seen it? Or did you just get it today? Anybody here have it? Did you have it before? Did you enjoy it? So very much. That is not a paid spokesperson, right? It's a live concert DVD. It features songs from Full Metal, or in High School, Dean Angel, Dragon Ball Z, and it's a great concert. The music is great, the audience is great, the video is great. It's even got like colored lights flying all over the place, and fog machines, fog machines. But there's something very special on this DVD, and this is why I need to tell you about it. Years ago, when I was voicing the very first Full Metal, even before Brotherhood, we were about 10 or 12 episodes in, and I was like in love with this show. I had probably done 60 anime series before Full Metal, and nothing ever grabbed me the way that show did. I loved it. So I started thinking, man, I'd love to cosplay as Ed. How would I do that? I'm a grown man, right? And I came up with an idea. So then I thought, wait a minute, I don't think any voice actors, I don't know any voice actors, at least I didn't back then, that cosplay as their characters. So I called a bunch of the other voice actors in Full Metal Alchemist. And I said, I've got this idea. You want to do this with me? And they're like, heck yes, I do. So we all made our own costumes. And we came together in Houston, Texas on one weekend, and we shot something called Full Metal Fantasy. Has anyone in here ever seen Full Metal Fantasy? Not a paid spokesperson. Did you enjoy it? Hear that? I loved it! There's that, okay? Isn't it adorable? It's so fun. Voice actors cosplaying as their characters, okay? Now here's the kicker. You couldn't get it anywhere. You couldn't get it, it wasn't on YouTube, it wasn't online to buy, it wasn't available. The only way you could see it was if you came to a convention that I was a guest at and I decided to show it, much like I just decided to show you that horrific Star Trek video. So, there was one other time that you would see it, and that's if you came to one of my music concerts. Because what I would do is I would play Full Metal Fantasy, and then as it was playing, I would sneak out and sit behind the piano, and as soon as Full Metal Fantasy was over, the lights would come up on the piano, and I would start playing and performing live. How can I repay you, brother mine? Which is the Brothers song from Full Metal. It was like a perfect little segue. So as I was putting the DVD together, I thought, you know what? Maybe now is the time to make Full Metal Fantasy available to the fans. So I brought some DVDs with me, concert DVDs. I have them at my table, and if you would like to get one and see voice actors cosplaying as their characters from Full Metal, and great music, right? I'll have them at the table, and I would love for you to have one. There's also another little bonus feature on there. You know, long before there was an American Idol, and your parents will remember this, there was a show called Star Search. You guys remember Star Search? With Ed McMahon. I was a male vocalist challenger on Star Search in 1993. And this is classic 90s, you guys. I had a mullet. And I I wore a purple double-breasted suit. Oh yeah, those were the days. And I was on the show, and I didn't win. So I was kind of, disappointed, right? And when I was getting ready, and so by the way, I had a video of my performance in '93, but I buried it. I put it in the closet, like, no one will ever see this video. And then as I was putting together the concert DVD, my friend said, "You gonna put any bonus features on there?" Like, yeah. What'd you have in mind? "Why don't you put your Star Search appearance on there?" I'm like, shut up! That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. There's no chance anyone will ever see that video. So I put it on there. So I'm facing my shame. And that's another fun little bonus feature that's on there is my Star Search performance from '93. So we're done talking about that. What else? Anything else? Also, I have a bunch of ringtones and voicemails, custom-made ones of some of the characters that you like, and they're on the iTunes store. You can get them there. I've got, if you want to have Edward Elric answering your phone for you, or if you want to have Tamaki use your voicemail, or even Broly from Dragon Ball Z. I know he doesn't say much, but what he says is important. So those are all available up there as well. I do want to take questions and talk about anything you want to talk about. I am an open book. So here's what I want to do though. We've got microphones out here so that if you've got a question, raise your hand so everybody can hear it, and let's talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Some people ship Spirit.
Can I just say you have a screw through your head? Are you okay? Does it
Well, I
hurt?
cut you up, so.
Does it? You're Stein? I love it! Stein.
Okay.
I love you.
Some people ship Blair with Spirit. Some people ship Spirit with Stein. Which do you prefer?
Totally Blair, she's hot.
By the way, set phasers to love me.
What?
Set phasers to love me.
Oh, get over here, girl. Come here. Give me some of that Stein love. Oh, you are awesome. I'm going to tell Chuck Huber that I just hugged the cutest Stein ever. Because he voices stuff. Is my Maka here? Where's my Maka? Are you here, Maka? Maka! Your dad loves you. Can I tell you a funny story about screaming Maka? So last year I'm at Fan Expo in Toronto, huge event, and I'm signing at my table, and right here sitting beside me is David Prowse. Now, you may not know who that is, some of the older folks here do. Darth frickin' Vader. You with me? The original, the guy from the original movies, is sitting like as far away from me as my little Titan girl here is, okay? Right there, Darth freaking Vader! So I'm trying to play it cool, right? Hi, what's your name? I was nerding out, right? Because I'm a Star Wars fan too. So we're doing our thing. He's older. What's your name? Hello, I'm Darth Vader. Thank you. Hello, what's your name? I'm Darth Vader. Didn't do that, I'm just being weird. So then Maka walks up. No, she didn't even walk up. She was just sitting in line. She's like 50 feet away. And I go, Maka! David frickin' Prowse goes, he's like, what the? What's he yelling at? I was like, crap. I just killed Darth Vader. And I go over and I go, well, see that girl right there with the big scythe? She's cosplaying as my daughter from the show. And every time my character sees his daughter, he screams her name. And he goes, hello. So, there's killing Darth Vader story. Okay, question.
So, Vic, Christian to Christian, you played like a lot of characters, some of which, I mean, Nagato had like a literal god complex. Ed seemed angry at God sometimes.
Oh yeah,
And Ikaku is a death
it's
god.
bald.
Well, that's yeah. So, as a Christian, have you ever like been uncomfortable in some roles?
I love that you asked that question. First of all, I'm a Christian. I'll probably get hate mail about that. But I'm not ashamed. I'm grateful to know that God loves me, and I want to share His love with you and everybody I come in contact with. No weird little, sign your name here. Prick your finger in blood. I'm not weird. I just, I love that you asked that question because I get that question often. Here's my answer. Edward Elric is probably, at best, agnostic. Now, do you know what that word means? Some of you, maybe not. Agnostic means that you just don't really know. You don't know what you believe about it. Atheist is like hardcore, I know what I believe, I don't believe that, I don't believe there's a God. Agnostics are basically like, I don't really know, I don't know what I believe, I don't know what there is, what there isn't, I don't know. So, Ed, clearly, Ed is like, and of course, he thinks there's he thinks alchemists probably are gods in some way. And even in the first episode of the original series, he's talking to Rose. And he says, you should put down the scriptures and pick up an alchemy book, because we're about the closest thing to gods there are. Cocky little son of a gun, isn't he? But can I point something out? 3 episodes later, he's sitting with, 4 episodes maybe, he's sitting on a stoop with Al after Barry the Chopper almost killed him. I remember what he said. Do you remember? He said, we need to look out for each other, Al, because we're not gods. We're just humans. Tiny, insignificant humans who couldn't even save a little girl. See, he doesn't know what he doesn't know anything. As a Christian, I have no problem playing those characters. You know why? Because there are people out there like that in the world. That's called acting. That's acting. Acting is playing a role that's not you, right? Basically. If I only played roles that were just like me, you know how much I'd work? Never. So, I have no problem, is the answer. I have no problem playing characters that are different to who I am and what I believe. I'll give you a perfect example. If you go to church, every once in a while, churches sometimes put on passion plays, right? And you've got the disciples, right? The people in the church play the roles, right? Somebody plays Jesus, somebody plays Peter, right? Somebody plays Judas. See where I'm going with this? Is that guy really Judas? No, he's playing the character for the purpose of the story, right? I'm exactly the same. Thank you. Thank you. Question?
Oh God,
Where are you?
loud. Sorry.
Oh, well, you sound so cute. Where are you?
Thank you very much.
Following your voice. Yes, hi.
Hi. Actually, it's less so a question, more so a big thank you, because you were a big part of why I myself tried to become I'm trying to become a voice actor. I have a
Oh,
whole
good
bunch
for
of,
you, sweetie. I wish you the best.
I have a whole bunch of nonprofit web-episodes, basically, that I'm a part of right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Wonderful. I'm honored. I'm honored. You know, guys, voice actors don't get paid a lot of money.
No.
I promise you. She's like, I know. But I've been doing it 16 or 17 years, and we don't make a lot of money. That's just the reality. But the fact of the matter is, you're far better off doing something you love and making enough to, put a roof over your head, pay your bills, than to do something that you just loathe every day of your life. It could pay you $1 million, and it would never take away that loathing. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be worth it. You have $1 million in the bank, and you hate your life because you hate what you do. So I'm very, very grateful to get to do what I do, and I never really cared how much I got paid. I don't even know if I've been paid. I'm serious. Like every once in a while, I'll get a check in the mail for something. What's this for? And I'll be like, oh, this is for Naruto. Episodes, 8,000,004 through 8,000,006. I don't care. When somebody asked me if I wanted to voice act in a show one time, my very first thing, I went audition, and they go, you want to play this role? You know what I didn't say? How much does it pay? Never crossed my mind. I was like, ooh, a chance to act. This is going to be fun. Never cared. So I applaud you for doing it, you know, and getting involved in it. And I want you to know that your comment, if anything that I've ever been a part of has encouraged or inspired you in any way, that is the most priceless thing of what I do. It's not the dollars I ever make, because I don't make much, but none of us do. But that is worth everything to me. Thank you for that. Yeah. Here's my ranger. What up, girl?
It's funny because my little 7-year-old friend here just told me that he wants to be a ranger.
You'd be awesome. You'd be the coolest. Come on, give me some. You're in.
And then my question is that if you had to be stuck in a room for 24 hours with either Ed or Tamaki, who would you choose?
If I had to be stuck in a room with Ed or Tamaki, oh my gosh. Both prospects are equally terrifying. What do you think? Oh my gosh. What a great question. Well, let's see. Tamaki. You know why? I got a great answer for this. Because if I got tired of him, I could knock him out. I could punch Tamaki one time, he'd go down. And he could take me, right? So I don't want to invite no alchemy. Sorry?
He doesn't have Tamaki anymore in Brotherhood.
Well, you didn't say that. You just said Ed and Tamaki. I'm sticking with my answer. Yes.
Okay, so I kind of have like a kind of big question. So the first part, I suppose, is are there any roles that you wish you would have auditioned for that you didn't?
That I wish I would have auditioned for? There are shows that I found out about that I wanted to be a part of, and I never got the chance to be a part of, so there are those. I'll give you a perfect example. Death Note. I really wanted to be a part of Death Note just because I thought it was such an interesting idea. And, but then I found out that Death Note was recorded in Canada. And you may or may not notice that any dubs that are recorded in Canada, you will never hear an American voice actor on them, because that's part of the deal. They give you a price break to come and record in Canada, but you have to use their people. So it's the trade-off. It's the same way with acting. Like TV shows that go to shoot Vancouver, unless they work out some super deal to bring some big super celebrity, all of the actors are Canadian citizens, and they shoot them with Canadian crews, and they rent Canadian equipment, and they make them, that's, you know, they're bringing money to their economy. But that's the trade-off. So, there's another show, Inuyasha, that I wanted to be a part of, and the producer of Inuyasha contacted me, and he said, hey, I want you to play this bad guy in Inuyasha. It's really cool. I'm like, okay. And then he calls me like 3 weeks later, he's like, I'm sorry, they just told me that I can't hire any American actors. So there have been some of those that I wished I could have tried out for. And sometimes there are shows, even in the States, where an anime company will decide who they want to be in it. They will literally like pick certain actors to play certain roles. And I'll find out that I didn't even know that they were having auditions. I was like, oh man, I would have loved to audition for that. Well, they didn't even have auditions because they just kind of chose the people that they wanted. That's what happened with Durarara. I heard about it and I wanted to try out for it, and then I found out that they just cast it. They didn't even have auditions. And so you can imagine that I was pretty excited when they called me one day and said, there's this character and we'd like you to audition for it, or come in and play it. Actually, I didn't even audition. They just want you to play this role. So I was excited to be included in that. So yes, there are those.
Okay, and also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
I'm
sweetheart.
asking this, but gosh, okay, so it's been kind of like a dream of mine for a really long time, for like 3 or 4 years, to hug you and take a goofy picture with you. So can I do that?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Come here. I'll get hate mail about that too. Hello, Ariel.
Hi.
I met Ariel last night at the hotel, and she came up today in cosplay, and I didn't recognize her. And I felt so stupid afterwards. I said, oh my gosh, it's Ariel. What's your question, sweetie?
Oh, my question is how do you feel when you are able to bring a character to life?
It is so fun, and when I first started, it was so weird. Like one of the, the first character I ever played was Vega in Street Fighter 2. And I'd never heard my voice come out of a character, an animated character before. And when I would record it, I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty good. When I first recorded it. Like, as I was hearing myself do it, I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. And then they would play it back, and I would be like, oh, that sucks. Because you never sound the same. Do you notice that? How many?
Yeah.
We all feel that way. You hear a recording of yourself, and you're like, is that what I sound like? You say that. Is that really what I sound like? And I feel the same way, Ariel. At first, I couldn't get used to it. I would be like, that's horrible. And then we did Full Metal. And I would watch the episodes every what it was, Friday night when they used to premiere, like Friday night?
Saturday.
It was Saturday. I would watch them because I wanted to see how they turned out, you know what I mean? I wanted to hear all the other actors in the finished episode and kind of see how it came out. And I would watch them, and there would be some times when I'd be kind of in it, and I'd be like, okay, and I'm watching Ed and Al, and then I would say something, I'd be like, oh, gosh, that was horrible. I wish you could have done that line again. But you tend to be very critical, you know? But that's part of what makes you good at something, right? Is you hold yourself to a standard. It's like, this isn't good enough. I can do better. I can do better. And you push yourself to try to get better at whatever it is. So it's fun to bring a character to life. It's a lot of fun. And Ed is certainly the favorite role that I've ever played. And Tom McKee is very close second place. But I love all the characters I get to play. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for what I get to do. That's a good word, guys. You should work that into your daily lives. Gratitude. Gratitude. Because you know what? On your worst day, you've got so much to be grateful for. I know that maybe sounds stupid, but I promise you it's true. Can I tell you something else that I love to do, and I've started doing it? It was one of my New Year's resolutions. I'm like, man, I wish I could remember to be more grateful, you know? I get so frustrated about things that happen in my daily life, and I get, why did that happen? Bad mood. And I'm thinking, why am I not more grateful? Why am I not more grateful? I have so many things to be grateful for. I wish I could remember to be grateful. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh my gosh! How do you remember to do anything? Set an alarm! Right? So you know what I did? I'm gonna ask this young lady, I'm gonna show her. Here's my alarms, right? Look. What's the one with the green dot?
Every day,
Yep, and what's the time?
12 p.m.
12 o'clock noon, every day. My alarm goes off. If I'm on an airplane, it goes off. If I'm in a recording booth, it goes off. And the directors don't like that very much. No matter where I am, my phone goes off at noon, and this is what I do. I'm sorry, can I have a minute? Okay. Take 10 seconds to be grateful. And I encourage you to try it. All of you. Set an alarm, and when it goes off, take 5 seconds. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to stop. You don't have to pull the car over. Nothing crazy. Just calm your mind. Man, I have so much to be grateful for. Thank you for the good things in my life, the good people in my life, my eyesight, the oxygen I just took into my lungs. I didn't buy it. I didn't make it. It's a gift. All of it. My friends, people that care about me. The ability to process the world and talk to other people, and to draw something, or whatever. I've had several fans that have started doing it. And they write me emails, and they're like, I set the alarm thing like you did, and I was having the worst day. And the alarm went off, and I stopped and thought and just contemplated being grateful, and the whole rest of the day changed. Like my attitude the whole rest of the day. That's That's wonderful, and I would want that for all of you as well. So give it a try. And I'll bet you somebody's giving me a time over here. What do I got, 5 minutes or something? Yes, sweetheart.
Hi.
Oh, is that Assassin's Creed?
Yes,
You
sir.
look awesome.
Thank you.
I saw an Assassin. Have you seen those sweatshirts that you can buy? They look like Assassin's Creed outfits, but they're hoodies.
My best friend has one of those.
Really?
And this is his outfit that I just bought for him.
It looks fantastic. You look great. What's your question?
So my question is, well, one, you're an inspiration to me.
Thank you. What is your name?
Zarina.
What? That's, you sound like a super villain. And I mean that in the best way. Zarina?
Yeah.
Z-O-R-I-N-A or X?
Zareena. It's Afghan meaning son.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. You should be like kicking Iron Man's butt. Zarina. Okay, sorry. What's your question?
So I'm actually
Your
now.
hair, oh my gosh. Look, you guys. Look, it's different colors. It's beautiful. Did I interrupt you again? Sorry. Put your head back up. Here, now you can be the Emperor from Star Wars. Look. Lord Vader.
So actually I'm doing
Sorry. I know, you're never getting out of this room. Oh, we're getting a picture. Oh, well, right now? 1, 2, 3. Okay, what's your question?
So, I'm doing a fan film with my friend for My Little Pony. For any My Little Pony fans out there, it's called Epic Story, and I'm actually doing all the music for it.
Oh
And
my gosh, that's awesome.
I also
Awesome.
did the voice acting for the Sun Queen, and I was wondering, for music-wise, what would you recommend for like what?
Wow.
Like
That's a huge question, Serena.
what would
Banjo. I'm seeing banjo. I'm hearing banjo. My Little Pony, right? Right? You know what? That's cool. No one would have ever thought of that.
I should just let the guy know.
What do you mean? Like specifically, like what kind of instrumentation, or what kind of
No.
style, or what?
Pretty much like, what would you recommend for, well, style, but how you incorporate yourself into the music, because you like bring the character into yourself. So how would you recommend for me, per se, to bring in a character, to bring in the music for the actual film, to bring to the pony community and the Brony community a great film?
Wow. Can you take that question? Wow. That's really deep, Serena. I'm serious. That's a great question. That's not the kind of question you can answer really quick. I'd have to think about it. What instrument do you play? Do you play an instrument?
I play piano, flute,
Sweet,
oboe.
give it up. Yeah, piano players unite.
Piano, flute, oboe.
And flute and oboe. Okay, here's what I think. I'm just shooting from the hip here. You should play your instruments because they're what you do. You know what I mean? I would say channel whatever it is that you do best into the music. Don't try to do something, you know what I mean, you don't feel. Right, make something up on the piano with a flute melody. You know what I mean? Or or whatever it is that you do well, try it. Do you want to do like vocal songs as well, like songs with vocals?
There's a song called Far Away or So Far Away. I can't remember who.
Yeah, Carole King.
Yeah, something.
You're so far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? That's not the song you're thinking of at all, I know. Do you know that song?
It sounds familiar.
It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't help to know Serena's far away. And the worst part, that song was popular before you were born. Isn't that scary? No, really, that would be my encouragement. Just make stuff up and just kind of let it come out, and then test it with the other people that are working on the project with you.
Yeah, they live in other states. They're sending them to
Okay.
me.
So there's this thing called internet. So like record stuff, MP3, and send it to them. Go, what do you think of this? You know? Make it a collaborative effort. That's another thing I would encourage you to do. Like, let them be involved in it, you know? How are we doing? We're weird, like, so, I know. I'm sorry. You know what? I always forget, but sometimes I try to ask conventions, can I have like a 2-hour autograph session?
Yes.
Because I love talking with you guys, and the time goes so fast all the time. Hi. Hi. The Walking Dead t-shirt girl. I remember you. What's your question, sweetie? She was with a girl who had a Titan t-shirt, weren't you?
Yes.
See, I have not yet lost my mind. What's your question?
My question is how hard, well, we know how hilarious Oran High School Host Club is. My question is how hard was it to do the voice of Tommy Key through everything without laughing your head off?
Well, I fell in love with Tamaki before the show was even licensed. And some of you guys may have read this or seen this from other panels that I've done. Most times in an anime series, an actor comes in and does something like he doesn't even know anything about it. They'll call you in and they'll go, we need you for 2 hours on whatever, and you don't even know what that is. And you go in and they say, okay, this is what the character looks like, and this is a description of the character, go. So you don't have the chance really to know much about the character. Or on High School, however, my friend Caitlin, who you guys know as Haruhi, and she directed the show, she told me about Oran High School long before it was even dubbed or even licensed by a company. And I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best show ever. And Caitlin even told me, there's this character, it's you. Like, it's not like you, it's you. It's totally you, and his name is Tamaki. I'm like, ooh. So now I want to go see this show to find out what Caitlin thinks of me. Right? Right? So if I told you there was a TV show, there's this character, it's just like, you'd like want to go and see the show, right? And you're like, oh, it's this character. So I'm like, okay, so I want to see what Caitlin thinks I am. So I got some of the Japanese original, like first 5 or 6 episodes, and I started watching Oran. By the way, it hadn't even been licensed yet. It wasn't even licensed to an English company. So there was no dub in sight. Like, the dub is a long way away, and even then, what if it goes to Canada? Remember? There would be no playing any character in that show. So I get these discs with 4 or 5 episodes of Oran, and I start watching Tamaki Suo. He's so dreamy. And beautiful inside and out. Can I? He just told me I could go longer. Is that okay with you? Superhero right there. You're an American patriot. So I'm watching, right? And here's Tamaki Suo. You know, long live the poor. And he's, you know, right? And he's all romantic, and all of these girls in the host club are swooning over him, and I'm like, yeah. Caitlin! Bow, chicka, bow, bow. Right? I'm like, she loves me. She thinks I'm all hot. I was feeling pretty good about myself. Until I got to this episode where Tamaki is bawling and crying in the corner. And I'm like, whoa! Which one of these does she think's me? But suffice it to say, I fell in love with the character. I loved him. And so when we actually got to dub the show, I savored every moment of Oran High School. I loved that character. Well, come on. Where you guys going? You're leaving. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bye. Thanks for coming. Stupid. Yes. Yes, sir.
If you could pick one person, historical, who's no longer on this earth, that you could have one dinner with, who would it be and why?
This is a trick question.
In a world. No, it's a trick question.
That is a trick question. Because I think probably you guys are all thinking I'm going to say the one you think I'm going to say. That's who I want to say. That's who I would say if I were going to say. Doggone it. Jesus. There, I said it. Sorry. By the way, I'm not forcing my religion down your throat. Am I? Because that's what the haters say. If I answer a question. I mean, I'm serious. That's kind of garbage that we deal with. Anyway, yeah. But then, you know, then he would be first, and then there are probably a lot of others. I've been fascinated with a lot of people over the years, history, you know. What about you? How about that? Turn the tables. Who would it be?
Well, I already know I'm going to see him. So it'd probably be somebody like Abraham Lincoln.
I can't believe you said Abraham Lincoln. I was going to say him. No, totally. I should have said it, because then you'd have been like, me too. I'm serious. You know what? Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been working on something recently that's based, that required some research into the Civil War. And then these documentaries that have come out lately, and the movie that Spielberg did, it makes you just wonder, what kind of a man was he really? You know, what would it have been like to just look into his face and get a sense of who he was and watch him actually communicate? You know what I mean? That's a great answer. Yeah. And I got the impression from a lot of the documentaries that he didn't have much of a guard up, like most of the time. Like people that worked with him in the White House or in the government, they're like, he'd be like on the floor playing with trains with his, you know what I mean? Like he was just, you know, he was really just himself, you know? And I don't think there may have been a lot of errors. Boy, how far have we come in the presidency. Sorry, but I had to say that. Yes, man. Hey, bro. No, we can't compare arms. Sit down. You are awesome. I remember when I looked like you. Dude, no, seriously. What is that? No. Pardon me? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, you're awesome. And I almost remembered your name. Almost. Was it? Is it Brad? You and Lincoln, baby. You got the magic touch. You got the touch. Thank you for saying that. I'm serious. And dude, yeah, like, I look like you 25 years ago. Question over here? I'm going to come to you next, but yes.
First I wanted to say that, well, one day I was eating dinner with my family and I mentioned your name. And my dad says, oh, I went to college with a big manana.
What's it mean? Coincidence.
So we're like, oh, there's no way. And a few seconds later, we continued the conversation, and then we looked it up online, and yes, he went to college. He hung out with you his freshman year of college. So
I was young. I needed the money. Wait a minute. This is your dad?
Yes.
What's your dad's name?
George Mellon.
What school was it? Was it Liberty or was it?
Yes, Liberty.
Really?
Yes.
Get your dad on the phone. Call your dad. I already regret this.
Speakerphone.
Liberty. What was? Is he my age, or is he younger or older than me?
A little bit younger.
A little younger. Okay, George Mellon. All right. Is this his number?
Yes.
See, he thinks you're calling. This is awesome.
Dad, I'm in prison!
Oh, Lauren.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's best as far as
Call him again.
Stupid dads don't answer.
Mother's
Mom answers. Who are you? Darlene? This is Darlene, right? Darlene, George, and
Lauren.
Darlene,
No. Oh, right.
Mrs. Mellon, are you the mother of Lauren Mellon? This is Officer Mintaji. I'm afraid your daughter's been in a little trouble here at Denver Comic Con. So I need to talk to her father. Can you put him on the line, please? He's not available. Well, I'll just come over there right now. How about that? Yeah, get him on the phone, quickly, please. Your daughter's life is at stake.
I'm just making it up as I go. Give me a break. George. Hey, buddy, how are ya? How's life been since college? I see you got married, had a daughter, went to prison. How are you, man? This is Vic Mignano. Oh my gosh, your daughter just got up in front of all these people and told me that I went to school with her dad, and I'm like, you're lying. Of course, I was just teasing her, and she's like, no, really. So I told her to get you on the phone because I wanted to say hello to you. It is great to talk to you, my friend. Where do you guys live? Are you in Denver? Oh, you're in New Mexico. And what do you do? Very cool. Oh my gosh, very cool. Well, it's a pleasure to say hello to you. Your daughter is adorable and wonderful. And tell your wife, please, that I apologize for being weird on the phone. It just happens sometimes, you know how it is, George. Is that okay? You don't hate, okay, you don't hate me, do you? You don't hate me, do you, George? He's taking a long time to think about it. Alrighty, I sure will. Thanks, man. Nice to talk to you. There's nothing worse than going, you don't hate me, do you? Hello? It's like almost as bad as, I love you. Crickets. Oh, I promised them up here I would ask a question. You thought I forgot about it. Hi, sweetie. Who's got the question? Do you have a question? Sure.
What's the weirdest question you've ever been asked?
I'm sure I blocked it out. I have been, what?
You're talking 24 hours.
Yeah, that was a weird one. The whole locked in a room with Tom McKee. But no, you know what? I get that question often, and I don't really think, nothing really strikes me as, that's so weird. You know, I just don't feel like that. Because I feel like any question kind of comes from they don't mean any harm by it, and it comes from an innocent place, you know? So, I'm sure there have been some weird ones that maybe caught me off guard, but nothing really comes to mind. I'd have to think about it. I'll get back to you. Is that Link? Hey Link, what's up? You know, not since last summer. Joe, right? Joseph. Hey man.
So,
question?
Yes, when I was at your table, I said that I would come visit you either Sunday or
Yes,
Monday.
I'm glad you did.
But I don't have a pass for Sunday or Monday. I didn't buy those, and so I wanted to know now if I could ask you if I could get that recording of Psalm 23.
Oh, you know what? Wow, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. Drop me an email, and I will record it and send it back to you.
Awesome.
Because with all the people now and the questions, is probably, we shouldn't take up so much time doing that now.
Okay.
But I will do it, all right?
Thank you.
God bless you, Joseph. Thank you. Hi, hey, there you are, come on. Yeah, talk about Blair. Can you talk about shipping Blair and Spirit? There they are right here. It's already been done. Question, what's your question?
My question is, what would be the most emotional moment for you when you were filming Edward Elric's voice?
There were like 1,000. Wow. The first one I remember very well. It was the Bury the Chopper scene episode in the first series when Barry ripped his arms off. Remember he had Ed tied up in that meat fat, what was it, he had him tied up and then Ed got loose and he was running around and Barry was chasing him and like he'd taken Ed's automail off so he couldn't do anything. And after they caught Barry and Alphonse showed up and saved Ed. And to that point, you know, I was just kind of playing a role and doing what I always do and pretending to sound like I was crying or pretending to sound scared like you do as an actor. And then we got to that last scene. They were taking Barry away, the police were taking him away, and Ed was sitting on those steps with Al. And I'll never forget it. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. And Ed was talking about, you know, when he thought he was going to die. He really thought he was going to die. And then he didn't have any hope that anyone could even save him. And then Al shows up on an hour. And he goes on to say, you know, I'll do whatever it takes to get our bodies back. And we got to stick together, Al, because if we don't look out for each other, no one else will. And then he said that line that I said early on, because we're not gods, we're just tiny, insignificant humans who can even save a little girl. And I'm tearing up right now. I was recording that line, and I went, whoa, what the heck? Because I had never gotten that emotionally moved by characters and a story before. And from that point on, most of the time, if you hear Ed upset, I'm upset. I mean, like, I am visibly moved. And what's funny is that sometimes the director would say to me, oh man, I know this is really emotional. Do you want to take a few minutes? And I would say, you kidding? No, let's record it now. Right? While it's real, while it's visceral and you're getting the real deal. You know, I mean, it's not acting, I'm feeling this. Let's do it now. So there were a lot of those moments in Full Metal, all the way through the series. Another one of my favorite moments was in Conqueror Shambhala. Oh my gosh. At the very end, after they foiled the bad guys and they're on that plane, on that ship, and they're standing there, he's reunited with his brother, Mustang's there, like they just beat all the bad guys. Remember this moment? And it's like, we're together, brother, we did it. And then Ed goes, and he cuts the wing off the plane and they start drifting apart. And Al's like, what are you doing? Brother, I just got you back. I can't lose you. And Ed's like, you have to go back and close that gate on the other side, and I have to stay here and close this. And I can still hear Aaron Dismuke, who played Al. I can still hear the timbre of his voice. And the way he did, he's like, but brother, what about Winry? She'll miss you too. And one thing I always hated about the original series, the first Full Metal, was that Ed was such a jerk to Winry all the time, right?
Yeah.
She was always there for him. And fixing his junk when he messes it up, you know? And always there. And Ed would never say anything. Just like took it, you know what I mean? Yeah, all right, Winry, you know? And I thought, what a dick, you know? Right? Why isn't he nicer to her? She clearly cares about him, and he always treats her so bad. He's so ungrateful. Back to Conquer Jumbo. Al says, what about Winry? She'll miss you too. And Ed said, tell her thanks. She always made the best. And when I recorded that line, I was like, oh my God. I was just sobbing because it was like, finally, he said something, acknowledged how much he appreciated Winry. So, okay, sorry, but, so you see my point. There you go. That's like the best answer to your question. 8 years later, I recount scenes and cry. I mean, that's how much that series meant to me. Question? Microphones? Anybody else?
Right here.
I just want to mix it up. I want to kind of go back and forth. Yes? Hey there.
Hi. So, do you have any tips for a new voice actor going into the business?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm so glad you asked. I had at least 5 people come to my table today and said, you know, how would you get into voice acting? I'm like, you know what? Ask me that at the panel, because I know there are a lot of people that want to hear the answer, right? Here's what I have to say about that. There are only 2 things required to be a voice actor. 1, be an actor. I know that seems pretty obvious, but voice acting isn't about your voice. It's about acting and communicating through your voice. Can you sound terrified that quick? Can you sound like you just had your legs ripped off that quick? Can you know what I mean? All the different emotions. It's acting. That's all it is. You're just acting with your voice. Now, what I would encourage you to do is, if you're interested in voice acting, get involved in acting. Get involved in theater, get involved in school plays, get involved in church productions, get involved in community productions. Develop your skills as an actor. Almost every voice actor I know has a huge background in acting. A lot of them even have college degrees. Like my minor in school was theater. And some of them have masters in theater. I mean, these are people that studied and auditioned and got into plays and did it. Acting is the key. The second thing is, you have to be where the work is. Again, it's kind of a downer, you know, I'm sorry. You want the truth, right? I mean, the truth is you have to be where certain work is done. I've often used this example. I'm sorry if you've seen it in YouTube on other panels, but if I wanted to be a country western singer, I'd go to Nashville, right? Or maybe Austin, you know what I mean? There are only a couple of places where certain things happen. At least happen enough that you have a chance to be a part of it. So when it comes to voice acting, you're talking about Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, New York a little bit, and Toronto, and Vancouver, Canada. Forget Canada, as we've learned. But there are only a handful of places where certain things are done. Now, before you think that I'm advocating that you pack up your stuff and move to Dallas because you're going to be a voice actor, remember what I told this sweet girl over here? You don't make a lot of money as a voice actor. So you have to be smart. You have to be a grown-up, and you have to be realistic. So you have to be able to do something to support yourself while you're trying to do something else. Okay? So don't be crazy. I've heard of people do this. They literally, I'm gonna move to Dallas and work for Funimation. Maybe. But how are you gonna pay your rent until then? In fact, after you get hired, you're still not gonna be able to pay your rent. How are you gonna pay your bills? How are you gonna put gas in your car? How are you gonna eat? So be smart, you know? Learn to do certain things that you can do and get a job at, to make money, to allow you to pursue the things you love to pursue. Okay? And that's it. I will tell you this. I was very blessed to get involved in voice acting when anime was very small. 16, 17 years ago, it wasn't as mainstream as it is now. So I was very lucky. I got in on the ground floor, and then as it grew, I was able to continue to be a part of it. It's a lot harder now than it was back then because there's a lot more competition. More people want to do it, and there's only a finite number of opportunities. But don't give up if it's something you really want to do. And do it because you really have a passion for it. Don't do it because I can imagine me signing autographs. And I want to hear people, I want to get fan letters, and I want to stand up in front of an audience and people cheer and clap. That's not a good reason. You have to do it because you have a passion for it. I never imagined that any of this would happen. I recorded those first couple of characters for those shows, and I figured, okay, that was a fun little weird thing to do. What do they even do with those shows? Do they sell them? I don't know. I didn't even know what they did with it. And then I went back to writing music, video and film production, stuff like that, writing commercial music for ad agencies. And then they called me and said, hey, you want to come do another show? I'm like, okay. Had no idea. It wasn't like I have to do this because I'm going to be a star. No, I never imagined that this would happen. So that would be my encouragement to you if you're interested in voice acting. Acting and location are two important things. Yes, ma'am.
Can you do the coffee line from Host Club?
The coffee line. You gonna do it with me? Do you know the lines? Okay, stand up. We're going to perform a scene for you. What's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren. This is Lauren. Say hi to Lauren.
Hi,
Lauren. Now, for those of you parents, don't get scared. This is all just innocent fun. I'm not a pervert. I've heard that I am, but I'm not. And this is a scene from one of the first episodes of Warren High School Host Club, where Tamaki is working his charm on one of the young girls that has come to the host club. They're all in high school, by the way, so you gotta go with it. All right, you ready? She knows her lines. Here we go.
I'm afraid if I drink this, my father might yell at me.
But what if I let you drink it from my mouth? Wait, she has another line.
Oh no, I would drink it.
Yay, Lauren! That was really good, Lauren. You know what I noticed that was especially good about that? Is the way you kind of made your voice shake a little bit when you went, I would drink it. Perfect. Question? Hi. Hi, what's your question?
I was wondering, what's your favorite part of working on Orion High School Host Club and specifically working with Todd Ackerman and Caitlin Ross?
Oh my gosh, well, I will say that I love everything about Orion High School Host Club, except that it ended.
Yes, same!
And I'll tell you what, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. If I had lots of money, I would personally pay to make another season of Orion High School. I would love it.
Do a
Totally
Kickstarter.
serious, I would do it. If I had $1 million, I would hire an animation company, I would do it. And everybody involved in Full Metal, Todd, Caitlin, Travis, Greg, all of them, Michael Tatum, all of us, we would be like, let's do it. We all loved it. And you know the manga continues. And like all kinds of great stuff happens in the manga. It would be a great series, and I would love to think that maybe somebody somewhere in Japan who made the original is sitting around going, man, this show, Warren High School, it's really popular in America and in the English-speaking world. They really love it. We should make another one. We should continue the manga. They all go to college. Do you know about this? Haruhi gets accepted to Harvard, and Tamaki can't bear that the host club gets broken up, so he makes them all move to Harvard. Listen. And you want a real spoiler? Haruhi and Tamaki get married. I told Caitlin last that, I'm like, we're married now. And she goes, ew. You're like my brother, Vic, ew. Okay, we just did one there, so let's come over here. Oh, the sister. What's your question, sir?
So my question is for all the Vampire fans.
Oh!
Who do you like playing more? Zero or Ichiru?
This is another trick question. You know what? My favorite part of Vampire Night was playing twins. it was fun as an actor, you know what I mean? To get to play these characters that actually interact with each other and talk to each other and fight with each other and shoot each other. I loved it. In fact, I'll tell you a funny story about Zero. I really wanted to be in Vampire Night. And so I did, when they called me and said, you know, we want you to come in and audition for this show, I auditioned for several characters, and then you wait, right? You wait until they make their decisions. So I'll never forget it. Remember Michelle from the phone? I was at Michelle's family's house. It was right around Christmas time. And I was expecting them to call anytime. So I had my phone right there. My phone just went down. Okay? Any vibration. Oh, is that it? No, okay. So we're at the house, and just whatever, I don't even know what we were doing. And suddenly my phone goes, voicemail? What the? It didn't even ring. And I looked at the voicemail, 818. It was Los Angeles, and I'm like, didn't even ring. So I play the voicemail, right? Listening to the voicemail. Hey, Vic, this is Eric Sherman from Bang Zoom. Listen, I just felt like I needed to contact you because I know how much you wanted to be in Vampire Night. And I was like, Michelle was standing right there by me. I'm like, this is it. And I'm listening, and he goes, listen, I just...
Mike.
Oh. Where did I leave off? Michelle was standing right there, and I looked at him like, here it comes. And he goes, I know how much you wanted to be in Vampire Night, and I just want to promise you that someday we will work on something together. And I started tearing up, and I'm like, Dad, coming. I didn't get any character. I didn't get anything. I looked at Michelle, I'm like, I didn't get anything. And Eric says, you know, we'll on the voicemail, we'll work together someday. In fact, we're going to work together very soon because you'll be playing Zero and Ichiru for Vampire Night. And I was like, I'm playing Zero! Who the hell is Ichiru? I didn't even know who it was. What's an Ichiru? I didn't even know. It wasn't until I got into the studio and found out that Ichiru was Zero's twin brother. And I was like, oh, this is even better than I hoped for. Right? Because, like, you get to play these two characters that are different, you know, but it was so fun. I loved it. And what we would do, in case you're interested, what we would do is we would record all of Zero's lines first. So you're playing Zero. I'm playing Zero now, and then you're done, and you take a little break, and you come back, and you start recording Ichiru. You fill in Ichiru. So you're not jumping back and forth. You know, you're kind of in this mindset for this time. So I had a wonderful time doing that. How many of you know that the voice actor in Japan who played Zero also played Tamaki? Mamoru Mayano. You ready for your head to be blown again? Guess what else he plays? He plays Rin in Free. So now that's 3 characters that I play that this guy Mamoru plays, and I've got to meet this guy. And he sings too. In fact, he recorded, you know the song that we played at the beginning with the video? He recorded that in Japanese, and then I rewrote it and translated it into English and recorded it in English. So I'm totally waiting for the day when some convention brings both of us and we get to do a panel together. And then we sing that song, and he'll go, you know, da 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 in Japanese, and I'll go, what a beautiful crime, and he'll go da 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 in Japanese, and then and we'll go back and forth. Anyway, it's a dream I had. Okay, hold on, let me check my phone. Okay, we have time for one more because they promised me I could go till 7:30. Hi.
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 We met earlier.
Yes, we did. Hi there.
You asked.
You're the one that sings. And I said we should sing sometime, didn't I? And that's what you're going to ask me, isn't it? Yeah. Am I right?
That's pretty much it. Well, you actually asked me if
And your name is Harmony.
That is also
Boom,
correct.
huh? I'm not gone yet. What's a good song, Harmony?
Huh?
What's a good duet? Do you know any good duets? What were the songs that you said that you sing in karaoke? There were two you mentioned. No, what were they? The two you mentioned that you sang.
I did Dream of Looking at Me and but we could do like the Jason Mraz song or something. You know. You want me to start? You want me to start?
I don't know the words. Go ahead, you start. Boom! Spotlight is on. Yes.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you.
Whoa.
Birds sing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me.
You're ahead. By the way, I went to the end. I went to the ending harmony instead of the middle part. That was beautiful.
I didn't get to actually ask my question.
You had a question?
You asked me what
I thought you just wanted to sing.
Well, that was amazing, but you asked me what I would sing at karaoke with my friends,
Yes.
and I want to ask you the same question. What's the one song that you would sing at karaoke with your friends?
Okay, I'm an 80s lover. That was when I came into my own music. I was in college, and I loved the 80s music. Billy Joel, Elton John, Journey. And when I have my voice, in fact, I do a Journey song on the concert DVD that I told you about. Love Journey, but that guy's insane. I mean, Steve Perry, he just goes to the stratosphere.
Dream On.
What?
Dream On.
Dream On? What do you mean?
Sorry, no, I'm saying like, I made the wrong reference. I'm embarrassed.
But yeah, I would probably go with another great song is Styx, you know, Babe.
Oh my God.
Babe, I'm leaving, must be on my way. Time is rolling near. That's a good one. And then, of course, like I said, Journey, or sometimes I'll do Piano Man. But I actually play that one too on the piano, so that's my answer. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, they're wrapping me up. There's the wrap sign. You guys, I'm so glad you hung out with me all this extra time. I know you didn't plan to be here this long. And Lou Ferrigno made restaurant reservations that I'm now late for. So go by the Hulk's table tomorrow and tell them, you know, sorry, it was late. But you guys, will you come see me tomorrow? I'll be down at the table. I met several of you today, but I'll be down there tomorrow. I've got the concert DVDs and music CDs, and I would just love to meet you and say hello in person, okay? Thank you guys for coming. I love you.